No. Fuck. Okay, there we go. Hi again. I'm back. And today I want to kind of discuss the lore of the Outcasts and like all the arcs that we've went through and stuff. And apologies if you can hear my fan. It's really hot in the room, so I have my fan on. Now, for this in particular, I think I should go back to what Silver's appearance was like in the first few arcs. So, just give me not that long of time, and I will be right back with the old one. There we go. I might be a bit taller, though. So yeah, this was the old one I used. For, videos and stuff. Well, no videos. We didn't record any of it, which was a bit of a shame, so that's why I'm here explaining it all. Oh, I need to be in... There we go. Oh, shoot. Now, Silver wasn't... Oh, he's not always like this. Usually he would wear the hoodie, and that would be it. Okay. So, Arc 0 begins... Well, didn't really have a beginning. We just sort of started. But it starts in Silver's dimension, or Outcast Silver's dimension. They're technically different people. Where he was scavenging around, looking for stuff to survive since his Iblis no longer exists. And that's when he was found by his Sonic, or well, Archie Sonic or something. It's from different timeline-wise, it's really weird. So they had a discussion, and he decided to take Silver back with him. Kind of like, I like seeing it as he picked up a stray cat from the street and just decided it's coming home with him. And they did. They went across a few universes looking for some place to stay. And then they found a beaten up and, well, discarded metal Sonic that didn't work very well. So Silver fixed him up, much to, Sonic's wishes. He didn't really want that to happen. But upon repairing him, he seemed a lot more, docile. And he wasn't cruel or mean at all. However, that didn't mean they liked each other right away. In fact, for the first few arcs, they did have a bit of beef with each other. And then, well, they found a place to stay. And that's how the Outcasts were formed, with the blessing from the Master Emerald to protect them. That's kind of how the group formed. Silver placed his hand on the altar, and they became a group. And then, well, came Arc 1. In Arc 1, Sonic sensed something strange within Silver. Apparently he could use chaos control to, see what was in Silver's head. And it turned out Mephiles was in his head. And he had been possessing him for a long time, and Silver had completely forgotten about it. And so they went through a lot of trouble trying to get rid of Mephiles, but he wouldn't go away. So Sonic decided to try and put Mephiles inside of his own body. But that didn't work out so well. As you see, Sonic had kind of the cliche of Fleetway was in his body and he was trying to keep him from going out of control. And with Mephiles in there as well, Mephiles took control of those forms. And a big fight broke out, leaving Silver to nearly, implode with the amount of power that he didn't know how to control. But in the end, Metal used his neoform to be able to trap Mephiles in his body with a trick, and Mephiles has been stuck in his body for, well, ever since. Kind of. It's a bit complicated. And then Arc 2 was in another universe as well, where Metal, well, everyone kind of took a break after the chaos that happened in Arc 1. So in Arc 2, well, there was a strange call to a new universe that Metal got in particular. And in that universe, Sage, the AI, had completely taken over her world and was using her ability as an AI to take control of everybody. And it wasn't very good. But again, with some help from some allies and meeting the Blaze from Silver's universe that he had never met, they were able to defeat Sage, but things went really downhill. See, in that version of that city, they'd met another Silver, but he was roboticized, and the only thing left of him was his brain, and he was pretending to be controlled to stop Sage from being able to hurt more people. But it didn't work out, and he ended up being dismantled. However, they managed to keep the brain. Don't ask me how they didn't, so there was always a chance for him to come back. But who knows? And then, well, Arc 3 was the crazy one, where things started going insane. Fleetway had been growing more stronger over their adventures, and so was Mephiles. They were both becoming uncontrollable, leaving Silver to not know what to do. He ended up learning how to use Chaos Heal, but it wasn't enough, and Fleetway ended up becoming more of a nuisance. Eventually, Mephiles escaped, using some outside help, and somehow being able to duplicate himself. And as a result, there was a big fight that broke out, and Sonic was killed. Normally, that wouldn't be too much of a loss in terms of numbers, but Sonic's universe was empty. In his world, everybody else was dead by his doing, because Fleetway took control. But because now there was no one left in that universe was destroyed, and everything that ever happened was undone. But unlike in something like Sonic 06, everyone still remembered what happened. But then Silver somehow ended up in the Soul Dimension, where he finally met his Blaze. Metal went on to explore the worlds, and that was it for the beginning of that part. But of course, you know how it is. Even like Sega can't kill him for more than 2 seconds. Sonic's not really dead. Clearly. So, a 3-year time skip happens. And well, you already saw the avatar that I was using when this video started, so I'll just switch back to that. Oh, shoot. So yeah, time skip happens, and we get the Silver that we have now here. Except, well, things were still going on. It was not immediately great off the bat. So Silver gets a call to a new universe, where they find a new place, different from their old home. And there they see Sonic again. He's alive, he's well, and it seems Fleetway and the other things are gone. Nothing seems to be bothering him anymore, but we all know that's not the case. So that's when I started losing track of some of the arcs stories, because they're kind of hard to really concentrate on. But I will say, what do I remember? Oh yes, right, the anti-outcasts. I completely forgot about them, even though they're like my favorite characters. The anti-outcasts consist of the anti-versions of them, all from universes where something didn't go the same way. They're from different timelines, not universes. Anti-Outcast Silver is from a timeline where Sonic never met Silver and he became very bitter. He met his Blaze, but she was killed, and that sent him over the edge. Anti-Outcast Sonic, I don't know as much about. He's more of the Fleetway stuff killed all of his friends, and all that happened, but he was okay with it. He didn't care. And for Anti-Outcast Metal, he decided instead of disobeying Eggman, he decides he's going to build his own empire. And, well, they form a group led by another version of Infinite. To make a long story short, Silver almost drowns in a pool fighting their leader, but Sonic manages to step in and rip the ruby right off of the leader, which would kill him, except if the leader hadn't stabbed him in the process. And this is when they truly believe he is dead, because they watched him die in front of them. And Silver ends up getting very depressed over the next few arcs, because he doesn't know how to cope. He's watched people die, yes, people who tried to hurt him or he never met. But he's never watched someone he really cared about died besides his caretaker. And he didn't even watch him die in front of him. He was already dead when he got home. So Silver ends up spiraling a little bit. And then he starts hearing voices. Metal thinks he's going a little crazy, but he's not. And this voice keeps telling him that something's wrong with Blaze and that it's making him worried. And then, well, they meet Fleetway again. But it doesn't seem Sonic's in control at all. Nothing they're doing is getting to him, and he's just attacking them. Eventually, Silver is seemingly killed when, Fleetway, punctures his hand through his chest. Classic. And, well, then he leaves. Of course, not before Divine Shadow, who was a prominent character, but I didn't mention, comes in to help and manages to save Silver's life. And that's where the plot twist of the century happened that I myself didn't see coming, because all of this is improv. So apparently, we already established that Silver from Outcast's universe is a product of Sonato. He's Shadow and Sonic's son. But what I didn't realize was that, so it turns out Archie Sonic was never from Archie, and he's been Silver's dad this whole fucking time. So that's the plot twist. We're not done with that yet, and honestly, I lost track of where the arcs started and began, so I told that in one big bit. But, Silver, I'm still kind of getting over the fact that that's his dad. It's just insane to me. Sonato is real, like my friend said in their introduction video. And Silver's kind of still sad. He's really sad. It's I can do such a pathetic voice for him, it's not even funny. What else is there? Oh yeah, we do have plans. Sonic's not back just yet, but we're working on it, and it's gonna be fun. Will it be recorded? I don't know, because my audio tends to be shit for them. I don't know why. Maybe if I get, like, audio from camera, that would fix something. Or I don't know. But, anyway. Bye. I mean, one second, let me just, fan art would be nice, by the way. Okay, bye.